Hello, everybody. How are you doing today? My name is Tony Rizano, and you are listening to another episode of the world famous, the University Love, the best podcast in one, two, three galaxies. But, ladies and gentlemen, you and I, we just call this show Online Marketing Moves. And we are coming to you live today. Today, out of all the days, today is Veterans Day. Do, 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 do. I don't know what that means, but ladies and gentlemen, we are back. We have a lot of energy. Now I've been trying to record the show, but damn it, ladies and gentlemen, I'll tell you like this: no matter what, this episode right here will be uploaded today, November the 11th, 2025. I don't give a damn what we have to do, but ladies and gentlemen, I recorded the show in September, October, and then after that, it's been radio silent. And the reason why is, ladies and gents, I started training people, go to work, train people on the truck. Ladies and gentlemen, that has been very tiresome, very nerve wracking, and very tedious, real tedious. And so every night I would get done. I would get done with work. Some days, the days would be 14 hours. Some days they would be 16 hours. Um, and I would just be tired and I would just be exhausted. And 1 week turned into two. And then I tried to record one day and I recorded an episode, but it just got lost in the sauce. Then I recorded another episode and then it kept saying MP4, MP3. Then I recorded one day and the phone just kept shutting off. And I thought to myself, what in the bleep, bleep, bleep is going on around here? But ladies and gentlemen, I said today, you know what? I'm determined. I was inspired by my baby brother. He said, "Hey, what's up with them episodes, man? I ain't been hearing no new episodes." And I said, "Don't worry, sir. We've been having technical problems for some reason." I said, "But today, I ain't gonna let you down. I'm gonna check it out, figure out what's going on, and then I'll get back with you." Okay. And here we are, ladies and gents, November the 11th, and we will be dropping the show on November the 11th, come hell or high water. Now, ladies and gents, we have a great show for you today, ladies and gentlemen. Today we are just going to talk, me and you, and we're going to talk about why you should get rich, ladies and gentlemen. I don't care where you're from. I don't care where you grew up. I don't care how you grew up. I'm from a little town of 3,000, and I was having this discussion. For some reason, everybody lately, I just been telling them, we got to get rich. Okay, we got to get rich. I don't know why, but as you get older, you realize it's not even about the money. It's about it's about comfortability. Okay, the older you get, the more you want to be comfortable, the more you need things, you need more room, you need more space, you need a bigger car because you're older, you need higher toilets in your house because you get older. It's not like, oh, I'm old, but sleeping on your friend's couch when you're 22 is a whole lot different than sleeping on your friend's couch when you're 47. Okay, it's a big old difference. And you know, listen, when we are living in America, and I know sometimes you grow up in situations where, oh man, my parents didn't show me the way, and it's like, hey, your parents just didn't know. I get that. I've been in that situation. I grew up in that situation. I lived that situation. Parents, they showed me, hey man, you gotta survive. We gotta survive. And it's great to survive, but eventually you wanna thrive. And so, people talk about generational wealth. And so it's like, all right, let's show generational wealth to the next generation. My children, my child, we you gotta show them the ropes. You want them to have it. You want everybody who's a parent, everybody it doesn't matter. Everybody, you always want things to be easier for your children. Okay. Me myself, I would not like to see my daughter take the path of life I took. Now I myself, I am a I am a different cat. I don't mind. I was happy to join the Navy. I didn't have I did, I had a great time in the Navy, The only problem that I had while I was in the Navy was, I did not like my organizational structure in the Navy. I'll just say that. But other than that, I met my friend, I met Slick Rick, I met my homeboy Kamal. And 20 years later, we're still bosom buddies. I went out to San Diego, had a great time. I remember me and my baby brother there. We always had the conversation. He joined the military. He got stationed out in Virginia. And he's like, "Hey man, Virginia was lit." I'm like, "I know, man." As soon as they put me off on the plane and I saw the trees, for me it was just like, I can't believe we're here right now. And I was about 18, 19, 19, and I was like, this is gonna be all right. Everything in life for me has been all right. I went to, San Diego. I moved back to Missouri, and I just remember for me, it was like, all right, this is not a permanent situation. But it was good to spend a couple years with my parents. It was good to spend time with my brother. My nephew was born at that time. And so for me, it all works out. My wife gets annoyed when I tell her this. I say, everything's always going to work out. It doesn't. If you're a good person and you just keep at it, you know, I know people get frustrated. It's like, you do, it's just like when you create content. People get frustrated because they're like, nobody's watching my content. Nobody's watching my content. At some point, if you only keep going, at some point, you're gonna break the dam. You might need to tweak some things. You might need to do something different. You might want to do some different marketing. You might want to do some different, hey, where can I go to display my stuff? But you keep making the content, ladies and gents, it's gonna work out for you. And so, ladies and gents, this is why I say, you know, we gonna get rich. And so we will be we will be taking the ball, and we'll be running, and we'll be running very fast. Okay. As I told my wife the other day, I said, your husband does everything kind of backwards. And she is like, I noticed that. Because a lot of times people say, oh man, you got to get married, get married young, have your kids young. I had my first child at 42, and I was all right with that. And I was like, hey man, that's all right. And so, and so I got married at 38, and that was my first marriage, and that was all right. And I was like, hey, this is cool. My wife, she's like, oh man, we should have, and I'm like, hey man, it always, I always tell her, I say, hey man, things always work out for me. Okay. I know it. I have a belief system. And so, I'm telling you right now that we are gonna get rich. And like I said, I know people say, "Oh man, yeah, yeah, you do want, yeah, I do want the money, but want to live a comfortable life. I don't need to be a billionaire, but I would like to, have the ability to tell my wife. I said, why not? Why not? We should be able to do both. We should be able to travel and fix up on our house. I'm like, why not? So, we're gonna do more of that. Me personally, I don't want to go that far, but my wife, she wants to go globe trotting around the world, which is fine. I can be a part of that sometimes, but the real goal is to buy an RV and drive around. That's what my wife wants to do. And so we will entertain the young lady in her request. We will make things happen. Now I know it's been a long time since this show has been recorded, and so I've made a tape. You won't believe this. I made a tape, and I'm going to give it out to people. I'm going to need your email address, and it's a tape about confidence. I have to put that tape together because as I told you, ladies and gents, it's been a while. It's been a month, but this last month, it's been a lot of work. It's been a lot of work. It's been a lot of work. And so we would get all that together, and we will get all of this we would get this whole show, online marketing moves. We are family. We are a movement. We are a army, like Cash Money, an army, baby, a navy. It ain't gravy, baby. But we would get this whole movement underway, and then like any great army, like Napoleon Bonaparte, we will have strategy. You will see the strategy. We will execute the strategy. We will get it going. We will get it cracking, as the kid. I don't think no kids say that no more, but we will get it lit. Is that a thing the kids is that a thing the kids say? Uh, I know they say twin. I got that part. Twin and gang, gang, gang. Um, as I told you one day, this girl. I'm middle aged now, and so this girl one night I was working, picking up a load, and she just kept saying, "You feel me, twin?" She was telling me a story, and I was like, "Why is she telling me a story?" And I was like, and she said, "You feel me, twin?" And I was like, "Why she keep calling me twin?" I was so lost, but I'm hip. Did you know that not to speaking of middle age, did you know that people say now that polo is for old dudes? Like I'm like, ladies and gentlemen, I don't know if you notice or not, but I'm a black man, okay? And back in my day, back when I was 21, me and my friend Johnny Flash, aka Kamal, we would go to the store, getting ready for a Friday night, and we would go and check out polo shirts. This is like in 2000, 2001, and I saw a video one day. It was like a couple weeks ago, and somebody was like, "Man, old black dudes love polo." I was like, "Damn, kids don't wear polo no more." But then, no offense to any youth that listen to this program, all the kids I ever see, they look like they just woke up out of bed, and they call that a style. That's it's not really a style, kids. That's kind of lazy. Okay, it's not really creative. I wear bright orange shirts, bright yellow green looking neon shirts when I'm driving the truck, when I'm ghost riding the whip. But that they would wear that and call that a style. To me, that's hideous. Okay, but I ain't never been into fashion me myself. Um, I let my if I get dressed up, I let my wife pick out my clothes. Me myself personally, I shop at Walmart, um, Target. I went to Sam's one day and I said, "Ooh, they got a pretty good deal on these pants." And so that's where I'm at in life. Um, you can get dressed up. Don't get me wrong, but with the work sometimes that I do, uh, you don't need to get dressed up to be on the podcast. Now, if I start doing videos, which we're gonna have to, uh, then I probably would get a little dressed up for you. But just doing the recording, I just wear whatever. Doing audio recording, you just wear whatever. But ladies and gentlemen, the goal is for all of us, okay? and the reason why I say this, the reason why I say we got to get rich is, listen, you you cannot rely. You do not want your fate to be. You do not want the You want to control, you want to be able to control your life. You want to be able to have a say so in what you do. You want to be able to have a say so in where you want to go. You might wake up one day, you might hit 55 one day. You wake up, you're 55 years old, and you go, "You know what? I got enough capital. I got enough cash. I don't really need to be going in and out of this job every day." So you just might be like, "You know what? I'm done. I'm done with this." Okay. And you could take a load off and you could do something else. You could do something different. You do not want to feel like, you get into your 60s and your 70s, and you do not want to feel like, if I quit this job, what am I gonna do? Dot 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 dot. You do not want to be in that position. Okay. You do not want to be in a position where you're relying on Social Security. Yes, if you can get if you're 65, 60, 70, and you're getting a Social Security check, God bless you. But at the same time, you want to be able to create something, create a way to have money flowing in on a regular basis without the work of the Social Security or the government, because you do not want to, as we all know, you do not want to rely on the government for a whole lot. You see how they shut down the for like a month, people didn't get paid. Can you imagine? You go a month and they want you to come to work and you don't get paid. That would be very frustrating. That would be very nerve wracking. That would be very, just imagine that. Close your eyes, go a month without getting paid, and see if you can make it, and see if you would have money to survive. If you do not, because a lot of us, we grew up with the paycheck to paycheck method, and that's all right. That's okay. But one bump, even if you start off small, if you just start off saving $1,000, if you start off saving $1,000, we are already cooking with grease. Because the average American doesn't have $1,000 to save. Can you imagine that? So and so the older you get, the more you get more. Well, you should be more comfortable in your skin, and you should be able to have and say, you know what, this is what I want. This is what I want to do. When you're young, you think you got a lot of time. We all think that we are all. I was 21 once. I was 20 once. 25. You're like, I got time. And you never know. From you know, I you know, I've had my cousin. He died when he was 40, and we had just turned 40, 2019. And 6 months later, the man was not even 6 months later. I think it was like 4 or 5 months later, the man passed. So you never know when time is not on your side. Okay. And so as we go, as we move forward, and as we turn this podcast into a for-profit business, I'm gonna need your help. And I'm going to need you to be a part of the show. I'm going to need you to purchase things from the show. I'm going to need you to tell everybody about the show. We all got to help grow and build this show out so I know what it can be. And so I know it's been a long time. I know it's been a month, 2 months, however long it's been, but we won't let that happen again. We won't be going away anytime soon. We will get a set schedule. I will get things rocking and rolling. And we got one goal. Okay. Now we got two goals. Be happy and prosper. Okay. That's it. And I'm already internally happy. Nobody should be able to take your joy away from you. Okay. That's just, it doesn't matter what situation you're in. Listen, I grew up in a small town. I remember in the summertime, we play a lot of baseball. I was happy then. I live in Atlanta, Georgia now with a beautiful wife and a baby, and I'm happy now. Um, I always feel the happiness, no matter, if I have to get up at 4 o'clock in the morning, no matter if I work 16 hours, no matter if I'm off that day, the happiness is always there for me. And so I hope the same for you, because you don't want to live a life of, sad. Oh, I'm sad. Listen, there are no, I know people like, oh man, I wish I would have did this. I wish I would have done that. Hey, you want to do something, damn it, just do it. Okay. And eventually, like I said, everything's going to fall into place and everything is going to be A-OK. Ladies and gentlemen, we are back. We will upload the show. I don't give a damn what we have to do. We will upload the show. But I appreciate you. I love you. My name is Tony Zano. This is Online Marketing Moves. And ladies and gentlemen, we are back. We are ready to rock and roll. And we will be producing content on a regular basis. But until tomorrow, in the next time and in between time, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for listening. And as always, Ladies and gents, boys and girls, peace.